Is the undisputed queen of musical theatre. Elaine Page is going to be here. The imminent series of Sherlock has been described as the best one yet. Its writer and star, Mark Gatiss, is joining me with all the details. And he was 1/5 of one of the biggest boy bands of all time. Westlife's Shane Filan is dropping by. Is there a Westlife reunion on the cards? I hear you shout. We'll find out later. Plus, performing for us today is the brilliant rising British music star, Izzy Bizu. Sam Smith is one of her biggest fans. I've got to say, I love her music too. Let's do this, shall we? My first guest today has played a role in nearly every iconic show on television, including League of Gentlemen, Game of Thrones, Wolf Hall, Doctor Who, not to mention co-creating Sherlock, in which he plays Mycroft Holmes, of course. But now the Olivier Award-winning actor is about to star alongside his partner on stage. To tell us all about it, please welcome the wonderful Mark Gatiss. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Very good.
Really nice to see you. So back on stage at the end of this month.
Yes.
The boys of the band.
Park Theatre, yes.
Lovely Park Theatre in Finsbury Park.
That's right, yes. It's a very new theatre, but it's got a wonderful reputation already.
It really
Very
has.
interesting place.
And this play of yours full of hilarity and heartbreak, they tell me.
Yes, it's essentially the first gay play. It was written in New York in 1968, and it's about 9 men assembling for a birthday party, but it was the first sort of unflinching portrayal of the real thing for people to see. And everything before then really had been sort of fairly cloaked and masked and Tennessee Williams kind of angle. But this was the real thing. So it's always been a kind of controversial play and hasn't been done here for nearly 20 years.
18 years was the last time. Incredible.
So we're very excited about doing it again. We've got a fantastic cast, and I think it's really timely to sort of have a look at it again.
And your partner's in it.
Yes, yes. Yes, this is the first time we've done a play together.
Yeah, because you have worked a couple of times together before, haven't you?
Yeah, but not on stage, so...
How's that going?
Well, it was the first day of rehearsals yesterday, so so far it's fine. You know, we want to be like Michael Dennison and Dulcie Gray, touring the provinces for years to come.
Do you reckon?
Yes.
Well, this is a good thing about this play, because London gets to see it first, but then the rest of the country get to see it as well.
Yes, we're doing a short tour in November in Salford, the Lowry and Brighton Theatre Royal, and the West Yorkshire Playhouse in Leeds, which I'm very excited about, because I used to live in Leeds and I was there when it opened, and I used to hang around the West Yorkshire Playhouse all the time. It was like an oasis for me.
Trying to see the stars coming in?
Well, and I remember, you remember Marius Goring, a great actor, fascist, but a great actor, and he was in the first play there, which is called Sunsets and Glories, and I remember seeing him. He was wearing a three-piece dove grey suit and brand new Nike trainers. Right. And I met him, and I asked him, and he said, "Well, there comes a time, dear boy, when all you think about is comfort."
Great line. And it's true.
It's true. Look at these.
Check them out. It seems that you've got fingers in so many different pies as well. You seem to be here, there,
Sweeney Todd.
everywhere. Yeah, a little bit like that. And like you as a child, because apparently, by all accounts, you were quite a lazy kid, weren't you?
I was, yes, yes. I've made up for it, I hope. But I think... maybe I'm intrinsically lazy. I don't know if people would believe that, but we just come back from holiday, and on which, of course, I was working, as I always do. And I have to remember that holidays are supposed to be not about working. Yeah. And I love them, and I think I might like to have a few more. I might join a few together.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I say that every summer. It never happens, so unfortunately. But, yeah, the whole summer off. Wouldn't that be great?
Yes, yes.
But it seems to me that your father was a real grafter. He was the first in the family to not go down the mine. Is that right? Yeah,
he and his brother Harry, my late uncle Harry, they were engineers on the surface. So you had to go down the pit quite a lot, but not as a worker.
Right.
But you know, everything before that, generationally, were my grandfather and my great grandfather, etc., all proper pit workers, and it's an extraordinary legacy. And sometimes you go back now. We went back a few years ago, and he drove us around the place called Ferry Hill, where he was brought up, and it was very interesting that it's still got... Some of the houses still have a piece of slate in a frame outside, where the knocking up times would be written.
Oh, right,
they're still there.
Wow.
And yet the whole place is so completely changed. All that industry is completely gone, you know. It's, I think it must be very odd sometimes for him to think how much it's changed. But he's 85 and going very strong.
I must be very proud of you as well, because I know you were very good at language at school, and it was more or less Doctor Who that got you involved in writing and wanting to be a writer.
Oh yes, very much. I mean, there was a bit of a when they started doing that thing of shrinking the credits, you know,
Yeah.
which they don't do so much now, but I got very cross about that because I remember thinking it is literally by sitting in front of the telly and staring at those things, particularly Doctor Who as a kid, that I got interested in what these various people did, not just the actors, but the director, the producer, the script editor.
Yeah.
Those things are very important. And I think you take those for granted at your peril because there's a whole generation who want to grow up and find out things like that. You know?
You've got to tell the story of that call coming in the middle of the night that changed your life. It was a midnight call from a friend, wasn't it?
Yes,
Which one? Not the time I rang you up the other day, but...
to ask me to do this, yes. That's what it was.
Yeah.
No, it was 2003, I suppose, yes, and I was in bed and the phone rang and my friend Clayton rang me up and said, who used to be editor of Doctor Who magazine, and he said, "Are you sitting down?" I said, "No, I'm lying down, I'm in bed." He said, "Doctor Who's coming back." And I went, "What?" And it's strange, I mean, it seems obvious to say it now, but, you know, there were 16 long years, etc., without it, and there were some of us, like Russell and Stephen Moffat and lots of others who sort of kept a torch burning, but I didn't really think it would ever come back, but it's amazing it's come back with such roaring success.
And for you to be involved in it, you're one of the few writers who's also been in it. I think you've written, what, 8 episodes?
Yes, and I'm in the midst of my 9th.
And you've worked with all 4 modern Doctors, so I'm going to put you on the spot. Have you got a favourite?
It's invidious to choose.
But you have to.
No, well, I have to say, well, my doctor's John Pertwee, so that's easy.
Okay. Oh, that's such a cop-out.
It's safe.
It is very, 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 very safe. I must also talk, you know, League of Gentlemen was the making of you, of course. You met the gang at college, didn't you?
Yes, yeah, a place called Bretton Hall. I met Steve and Reese there, and Jeremy, who used to write with me but didn't perform. He was at Leeds University down the road, so we all kind of met up there. And the rest is infamy.
Yeah, well, you could also, you could combine all your passions, because I know that even at school you were writing, you know, a day at the seaside for your story would involve beheading or something like that.
Yes, I got into terrible trouble. I remember a particular parents-teachers evening where I think I remembered sort of dreading it. I knew what was coming because I'd been given a sort of general composition title, like A Day at the Beach, and it would involve a werewolf or something. I've still got somewhere a school report from my beloved teacher, Mr. Todd, saying when I got an A, and he said they're very imaginative, even if they do resemble scripts for Hammer films. I should be so lucky. Yeah, and then I was banned briefly from watching horror movies, but it didn't really take.
I must very quickly talk about Sherlock as well. We're fast running out of time, unfortunately. They do say that this next one's going to be the best yet.
I said it only 2 days ago, so now everybody's saying it.
Well, so
I think yes, we're very pleased with it. It's a very, very strong season. I think it's a lot of big, meaty stuff for all the characters to chew on. Yeah, we're very, very pleased with it. Well, and it's on well soonish.
It is not just here, but in 180 countries around the world or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I think more countries than there are. I couldn't quite...
That's how big it is.
I was totting it up the other day and I couldn't quite work it out, but it's something. I think it's about oil rigs or something like that.
Okay, right. Well, all you need to know is that you're a massive success, OK?
Thank you.
I'm really pleased you're here, really, and good luck with the play as well.
Thanks very much.
Enjoy the tour. And I'm delighted that Mark is staying with me for the whole show this morning. You are now. And after the break, it's all about the music. Rising singer-songwriter Izzy Bizz will be performing. Musical theatre legend Elaine Page is here, and Westlife's Shane Filan will be dropping by too. See you in a few minutes.
Shoulders don't just carry your name. They can carry ambition, sometimes pride,